up to a monitor, you can take the phone call while you're still in the desktop session. So I think that's something that would give Linux sort of a good platform, and kudos to Canonical for thinking of innovative ways to bring Linux to the enterprise, not from a server not in the server space, but actually in the desktop space. Maybe this may not be the year of the Linux desktop, but it is definitely the year of Canonical. All right, guys, I really like your shows. Look forward to hearing more from you guys. Bye.
Thank you. And I think it's Kaleem. Did you say his name is Kaleem?
Yeah.
Appreciate the voicemails. I love the idea of the desktop. I think he's right. Definitely forward thinking, innovative. I mean, we all kind of thought that this was going to be the future, and they're making the first bold step of like making it real,
Yeah, I mean, to me, dare I say, if this was even running like Windows 95, as long as it had the seamless data between the two systems, I would probably still use that.
Yeah.
I just want an operating system in my pocket.
Me too. I mean, most of the time we're going to do web browsing, so.
Right. And just a super quick note, redhat.com/products/enterprise-linux/desktop. Red Hat does offer a desktop. It just is not even close to as popular as its server distributions.
Uh-huh.
And I think the reason being is it's harder for the user to learn how to use it versus going from Windows XP to Windows 7. So nobody, it seems like, buys it. Maybe they do, and I just don't know. But I do think it is a market that's, I don't want to say ripe, but it has room for more players in it, I'll say.
I see. That sounds good to me. So we pretty much covered that voicemail, right?
I believe.
Thank you, Kaleem. Thank you, Dor. All right, next one is emails from Eric. He says, sorry, here we go. Okay, here we go. Hey, okay, this is the second email. All right, let me read the first email, first portion. No, that is the email you wrote back to him. Here we go. Hey, Dor, I have recently purchased the Linux videos. I plan to watch them this weekend. My wife is a kindergarten teacher. I've purchased several 2.8 Pentium 4s, 1 gig of RAM computers from a Votech. I'm going to make a computer center, 3 computers for her classroom. They are mainly going to be used for web games. My question is, what distro do you think would be best? I have thought about using a KDE version. I've also looked at Open 1-to-1 for easy imaging to the computers. I am so excited to be learning Linux and sharing with the kindergartners. Please help me make this happen. From Eric. And then you answered him, and then he answered us back. But do you want to take it from there, Dor?
I don't. Yes, I do. I got it right here. Okay. What I basically said to him was, a lot of questions I get asked, I claim to be tricky questions. And that's just because they're not well versed in the Linux verse. So the question they're asking sometimes can be answered multiple ways. I'll say that. I gotta say, I believe kids are so much more open-minded than older people. The desktop choice is almost irrelevant. It really comes to more of a question of, what do you want them to do on the desktop? Just want them to click icons and open stuff? Well, then awesome desktop, or something, Fluxbox or something really super light where they don't have options. And I would say, really, whatever the teacher is most comfortable with supporting is the one you should use.
Sounds good.
And that goes across the board. If I'm going to introduce Linux to somebody, if I'm using Linux Mint, I'm not going to go up to them and say, you should be using Slackware. Because then when they start to use Slackware and then have me a question, I'll go, oh, what? Oh, I don't know. I don't use that one. So you really got to know what you're going to support, or what the teacher is going to be willing to support. And be honest, after that, it's almost a toss-up. What do you like? Flip a coin.
Right.
If you like them both.
Gotcha. Good advice. He did decide on something. He said he ended up using Mint and installed the Ubuntu packages. Here's him saying, I had a bit of trouble with a couple of things. I used a P4 with 1 gig of RAM and Tendra Wi-Fi PCI cards. I've never heard of that. All 3 computers are identical. I could not get one of the computers to work with the Wi-Fi card. I suspected drivers. The other issue I had was when using headphones, the volume is very low. I also suspected drivers. I updated the Mint yesterday and finally, presto, all my problems solved. The earphones and Wi-Fi card now worked. Amazing. For the most part, I've only touched these computers since September a couple of times just to do some fine-tuning and updating. These computers were on the internet and used every day of school by kindergartners. Never a problem, and they work just like the day I set them up. Wow. Thanks again, and sorry for the slow update. You are the man. Love all the shows. From Eric. Thanks, Eric.
Dude, let me tell you something. For any computer, period, to be able to run a couple months with kindergartners.
I'm telling you.
You ask anybody in tech field that we trust, Chris Berry, William Tidwell, anybody, how would you set up a computer for a kindergartner kind of thing? And like Tim Kelly would say, steady state. Why? Because they're going to mess it up.
Yeah, definitely.
And definitely. It's nice to hear Linux Mint is solid.
Well, that's proof. They should do a commercial with that. 20 kindergartners run around playing with Linux Mint.
Yeah, and he did send pictures of it, which I thought was even cooler. I mean, I'm always jealous of somebody who gets to do that.
Set up like little rooms and areas and.
Yeah, because I go into my kid's daycare and I look at them, and even the touch interface for me to get into the door is Windows.
Really?
And when I told them I could bypass it, they didn't believe me. I said, really? I went like this. Tapped on the screen, went all the way up, let go, hit the button, boom. I was out of their remote interface and I was into the raw operating system.
No kidding.
I said, do you want to see what I can do next? They said, no.
That's awesome.
Right. Then I go back in the room and they have 1 computer per classroom and they're running Windows. And I go and I just look in IE, they're running IE.
Oh,
and I
see
IE6. Right. And I see literally like 5 toolbars. I'm thinking any second I'm gonna have porn pop up on this screen.
Yeah.
I just want to get away. I don't even want to touch these.
Seriously, you get in trouble doing that. All right. Hey, let's do a quick commercial for a product we just released at Podnutz. I teamed up with Chris Berry. If you guys don't know who he is, you're about to find out. But I'll tell you a little brief thing. He's a very successful, affluent computer repair business owner. And I literally interviewed him for 3.5 hours. I picked his brain about how to make computer repair businesses successful and how to just double, triple, quadruple the amount of money that you're making right now in your business, because he knows how to pull in the dough. He's proven it time and time again. And so we picked his brain all about that, and we released a cool product called wisetechnician.com. So I highly recommend you guys check it out. You could go straight to wisetechnician.com and pay full price, or if you sign up for the Podnutz hot list, you will instantly be sent an email with a 20% discount. Podnutz hot list is accessible at podnutz.com. You should be on there anyway and get all the latest Podnutz news, offers, and whatnot. So definitely check it out. And I think Dor probably has 1 or 2 things he wants to say about it too.
About what?
Okay.
Oh, I'm just kidding. Okay.
You don't have to say anything.
Well, here's the thing. Honestly, I do expect there are more than a couple people who listen to this show who have not listened to other Podnutz computer repair shows, only because of some of the feedback I got. If you want to raise the level of income without having to find more customers, without having to take a single product and charge more money for it, but actually expanding your business, and to be honest, to put it how Chris puts it, better satisfying your customers. If they can come to you and get everything they need and you give great customer service, why not offer them as many services as you possibly can? Take it to the next level, take it a little bit farther, and maximize your profit. If you want to understand what we're talking about, if you look at Podnutz episode 54, Podnutz Daily episode 216 or Podnutz Daily episode 339. Those are 3 episodes where he was on, and in all 3, he goes into moderate detail about simple, basic ways to talk to people and encouraging them. For instance, you do need a backup. And, and just with a short conversation, helping them better understand why.
Exactly.
Because the one thing most computer techs have an extreme lack of is the ability to communicate.
Yes. Not all, but most, definitely.
Most are horrendous at it. And I am horrible at it. I am one of the worst businessmen I think I've ever met in my life. And I'm not going to lie. I was one of the people who begged Chris to make this product. And to be honest, it's not for Chris to make money. And it's not because I want Chris to teach everybody else stuff. It was a very selfish reason. Because I wanted to buy this product and I wanted to learn it, okay? I really highly encourage somebody, if you want to make more money without killing yourself with more work or killing yourself with more customers, but taking the current customers you have and, to be honest, making them really happy and making you more money, you really need to check out wisetechnician.com. I've mentioned Chris's name a bunch in the past, and I love ribbing on him. I mispronounce his name and all this kind of stuff. It's only because I like to rib him. He really took God's honest truth, and I hope he doesn't listen to this part of the show. He is one of the most smartest communicators I think I've had the joy to actually talk to.
Wow.
The way he paces stuff out and says stuff, I think has the innate quality to make people listen.
Yeah.
And, if you can pick up any of that from these videos, and here's the thing, it's not like 30 minutes worth of videos, Steve. It's like 3 hours
of
videos. And to be honest, I encourage people, get the videos, 100% money back guarantee, just like everything else. It should have a guarantee, and it does. Watch the videos. 2 weeks later, watch a part of the videos. 2 weeks later, watch another part of the videos. 2 weeks later, and just watch them over and over again for a couple months. Because it's a lot. Let me tell you something. It might seem like it's a lot because it's 3.5 hours. It's actually a lot more than that. It's going to be very hard for anyone to soak up even half of this stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to bring myself to watch at least a half an hour every week or two just to reinforce the positive ways of communicating. Because I ain't going to lie, I already pulled one of his tricks today at work.
Really?
Oh, yes. And it worked wonderfully.
Damn.
I got 2 people to agree with what I wanted without me turning blood red or, walking out of a room kind of thing.
Damn. You got to show me that part again.
Trust me, I will tell you, it was not hard either. That was the thing.
Yeah.
It was not hard.
Awesome, Dor. And I'm sure he would appreciate the kind words.
Dude, I want Chris to be able to just share everything he learns and not have to bust his hump going out every day, doing remote work, going to this company. He has enough knowledge. He should be able to make a little extra. I gave him money, and I just, mess with him all the time.
Well, I think that there might in the future be some actual live seminars we're going to do based off the product. So,
dude,
yeah, that'd be pretty fun.
Okay, well, you're going to have to put a muzzle on me then.
There will be the special guest for every one of the seminars.
Yeah, but
right.
Can I ask you this?
Yes.
Can I ask you this?
Yes.
Can I ask you this? That's what all it would be.
All right. You want to get back to emails?
Yes.
Okay. Jeremy says, how hard would it be to install a lightweight Linux or maybe even BSD OS with an open source, parentheses, free antivirus/malware program alongside Windows? The only open source AV malware program I know of is ClamAV. Please inform if there is another one that is better or faster. I believe speed is very important, and I've heard that ClamAV is slow, therefore I haven't used it much. Maybe one of the existing live antivirus malware disks would be a good start. On boot, there will be grub or other graphic interface giving you a selection as normal. Only difference is the default would be this distribution, and the window for auto would be